All right, folks, where to begin? Let me make it very clear. Anybody that catches up on my channel, which I'm very grateful for, if you're mimicking anything that I'm doing, I can't stress enough that I'm not an educator. I don't have all the answers. I'm doing what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't know where to begin. I guess we'll begin here. It's Wednesday evening. It's almost 7 p.m. It's March 25th. Obviously, we're on the west side of the barn here. This little area seems to be about the only drier place on this farm. The cows will tell you that. They've been around here the last handful of days. So what I did this evening is I did the feeding here, a couple of round bales. I just put out 3 corn stalk bales for a little something to lay on. Just a small amount of serenity, just a little bit. And right here, you're very simply looking at what is this, 5 or 6 bales of the soybean square straw. Just something. That's the young bull right there. Big boy, where'd you go? I about had Big Boy in the barn. I opened up this door, and of course he remembers coming in and out of this door, and he knows what happens in here, and that's a healthy grain ration. In a very childish manner, as you can see, I tried to entice him. I put up a bunch of chains and everything else, opened that gate up. I tell you, I know how childish that sounds, but he came in the barn. But he took a couple of whiffs and he went right back out. All right, I'm gonna use my get out of jail free card, I think, here today. For the most part, pretty positive, pretty upbeat. Always a good plan B for everything. This, that, the other. You know, the list goes on and on. Tell you what, I about had it, folks. About had it. But we got a long road to haul here, and a guy's got to check his attitude. That goes for everybody. Excuse me, a person's got to check their attitude. So Calvin started early here on the Vieser farm, Vieser Cattle Company. We had a little bit of a miscue, whatever you want to call it. I had a little bit of bad luck. Sometime Monday, after evening chores were done, I just got home. That sounds like an excuse. It's not an excuse. Sometime Monday evening, after evening feeding took place, and of course the farm shut down as far as any human contact here anyway. If you've been keeping up with the channel for any time here now, you may or may not remember that I ended up picking up 5 animals. 5 head of cattle. I think it was 4 cows and 1 heifer. 2 of those cows were significantly older. The one in particular that we're going to talk about here today was 12 years old. Threw a calf every year, great condition, you know, everything else, whatever. And of course, you know, I'm 2 days away, per my little planning on my calendar, 2 days away from putting her and 2 other head in the maternity pen. Yeah, a lot of you know where this is going here. So sometime Monday evening after feeding, she decided it was a good idea to lay down on a very uneven piece of ground. Many of you right now understand what the rest of this story is. Those that don't, it's okay that you don't. I'm going to explain it to you. The truth of the matter is there's a lot of uneven ground here. There's a lot of uneven ground everywhere, for God's sakes. I'm trying my hardest not to curse right now, folks. So she decided it was a good idea to lay down on some uneven ground. Well, long story short, and understand, she wasn't bagging up yet or anything like that. I mean, she was big. I mean, she was due next Saturday per calendar. Well, long story short, she couldn't get up. She laid down the wrong way and couldn't get up. Long story short, she sat there and fought and fought and fought and bloated up. And I'm going to call it a trauma-induced labor. That made me sound pretty smart, didn't it? She basically half had her calf before dying. So, yeah, we got a little bit of bad luck. I got a little bit of dumb bad luck going on here. The weather's not the greatest. I can say that weather did not steal my first calf this year, if that's worth anything. Just a little bit of dumb luck. Could use a little bit of luck here these days for a lot of things. 401k looks like it belongs to a 20-year-old. I'm going to stop there. Enough negativity, enough complaining. There's a lot of room to complain here these days, but it doesn't help any. So Calvin started early here, folks. The one thing we're not going to do is walk behind the barn because I really don't care to show you the remnants of that very piece of bad luck. Yeah. There's a lot of know-it-alls out there, with all due respect, that got a whole lot of comments and a whole lot of answers right now. You need to understand that I did have a perfect plan in place according to the calendar. There's some things that I just by God cannot help. I don't really know what else to say here. You're one of my favorites. You do know that, right? Now, the truth of the matter is, with the exception of those 3 early calvers, early for us, I got a little ways away before the whole brunt of it really starts, you know. Hopefully the weather does some stuff, dries out a little bit. I will be creating what I call calving pads, whether it's a mixture of corn fodder bales, some funkier straw bales, round bales. I'm gonna have my neighbor graciously come on over with his what are we gonna call it here, bale buster, hay buster, and create some calving pads. So yeah, I'm kind of mumbling here. All right, let's talk about the cattle market. In the last 3 weeks, the cattle market absolutely went kaplook, and I'm being kind right now. Well, here's the deal. I guess we're going to add a little bit of positivity. You know, you need to give credit where credit's due. I really believe in that, so I need to give a big shout out once again, probably for the 5th or 6th time. Corbett Wall. Corbett Wall operates and runs the YouTube channel, Cattle Market Summary. That guy is a gift to this industry. There's no other way to put it. And I know Will Sowers will agree with me. And many, 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 many others. If you're in the business or in this market whatsoever, even on a minute level, and you give a damn about what the market's doing on a daily, weekly basis, you really need to be on and check out Cattle Market Summary at least once or twice a week. So anyway, thank God for Corbett and his information, which is real time. It's true. It's not speculation, any of that crap. It's national averages. He recites around the country and some of the sale barns, some of the prices that come out. Anyway, That's the good piece of news on my travelings here this morning. Of course, I came from way down southwest Michigan. I obviously caught the cattle market summary report, and it's been doing some really good things. Now, it's an absolute disaster, but in the last 3 days, it's basically, for lack of better words, topped out every day, and it's going to keep climbing. One of these right there. So of course now I'm caught in a pickle. Everybody knows I kept my calves all winter long because I'm so gosh darn smart. Do not follow my lead. But here's the deal. I'm going to spare you a lot of jumbo jibber jabber here. I've made a decision today that I'm vaccinating properly 12 steers, 12 of the bigger steers. They're being shipped Wednesday morning of next week, and they're going to land at the United Producers Incorporated sale in St. Louis, Michigan for their Friday, April 3rd special feeder sale. This day and age right now, you need to adapt to some changes. I'm sure everybody watching right now has adapted to one change or another. I actually can't believe this is coming from my mouth right now, because there's one thing I cannot stand. It is change. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. When I'm used to dealing with the norm and plans and everything else and working off a calendar and I need to make changes, yeah, I'm crying. Trust me, I'm not crying. It takes a lot for me to cry. I'm complaining. But anyway, I'm adapting to some changes here. And I am going to give a little bit of faith in this market getting just significantly stronger here in the last few days. And of course, we have another 8 or 9 days to go for it to get even more healthy. Because believe it or not, I actually do need a paycheck, folks. I think we can all agree I'm not getting by my looks. And that extra work I picked up as a male dancer on Saturday nights really isn't cutting the bills. I'm telling you. I mean, it's fun, but yeah, the bills really aren't getting paid by that. So we need to adapt a little bit, change a little bit here. And I'm shipping calves. 12 good-sized steers to the April 3rd United Producers Incorporated St. Louis, Michigan sale. And we'll see what happens. We'll hope for the best. Now, a lot of you right now are probably saying, well, what the hell here, man? You were slated for Iowa. Truth of the matter is, I can't make Iowa. It's called honesty. What do you think of that word? That word's not, that's not around too much these days, is it? Remember, I got a little bit of a piss poor attitude right now, so just bear with me. After I get this video out of the way, we'll have some more positivity. I can at least still fake smile. So it's called honesty. The sale barn in Iowa that I was looking to go to, penciled in on the calendar, they have a very strict, mandated, and this is very common. Let me find my words here. A solid 2-week grace period between your vaccinations and sale date. I can't make that. I have already failed by 1 day. And if you're going to be an honest fella, or honest person, excuse me, I need to be politically correct, you need to, by God, follow that. So anyway, I made some phone calls today. I talked to a great gentleman down there at the UPI barn in St. Louis. He was one of the two, I'm going to say one of the two managers. And as normal, he told me, yeah, Ben, it's an unspoken rule, and with some place it is a spoken rule. They like to see these feeders, with a 2-week grace period with vaccinations before sale barn. What's that wheezing? What the hell was that? I have never heard you do that before. You all right? You big pig, you. Big mama. Oh, Don't ever tell me I don't have friends. I got a whole bunch of friends. So it's preferred a 2-week grace period, but it's not, how do I say this? It's not required. They're at the St. Louis barn, and I can only assume, and of course I'm going to document on all my paper. Understand something here, folks. I'm not big enough. I'm just that size where I have an individual piece of paper that follows every calf that's shipped, calf or animal. So I'm obviously, as an honest person, declaring on my paperwork and even on my envelope, my big yellow vanilla envelope, and I can only assume that they will declare when my calves hit the pen that it indeed is not a 2-week grace period of vaccination. But we'll see what happens. I really enjoy that barn there out of St. Louis. I've seen a lot of good things myself personally come out of there. Compared to some other choices within the area. But yeah, calving started early, folks. I got a little bad case of bad luck here. I ended up losing a beautiful cow, and the calf, I guess it's the nature of the beast. If you're not behind or you're not losing, you're apparently not doing enough, I guess. And we're gonna settle on those words, you know. Yeah, she's been a little tough, but I know everybody's going through some stuff right now. We have taken an astronomical hit with my work outside the farm. Stuff I'm not getting into, it's private and personal. We'll just say the proposed multi-year future outlook. Let's do it together. And the list goes on and on. Now, don't anybody make a comment out there that I don't give a damn about the severity of what's happening here in this country right now. I do. Trust me, I'm living it. I know you are too. We all are in one form or another. I got a lot of other things to say right now, but it's not appropriate. So, all right, you can obviously see it's raining. We got some pretty crappy weather here. We had one hell of a meltdown starting yesterday evening. It started back up here this morning. Of course, right now, I think it's, what the hell is it? 43, 44, 45 degrees. A lot of melting. Everything's a disaster. It happens every year. This is not a surprise. But thank God I'm not in the brunt of calving right now. Got a lot of work on my plate here this week. Doing a lot of transfers. These two idiots here, these two turkeys, they're heading out into the into the unstocked lot. Neither one of these will be shipped to that sale next Friday. Reason being is they need a little more time to recoup. The both of them are very swollen back there still. In fact, if it doesn't clear up in the next few days, I'm probably going to have the vet back here because she knows a hell of a lot more than I do. They're doing good. They're fine. It's just it's let's call it an eyesore. And I certainly don't want to ship animals that have an eyesore or some sort of a problem. You can't be doing that crap. You do that and you're going to destroy your name. You might as well just get out of business. Me, I'm not prepared to do that. Plus, I got to sleep at night. There's no other way to put it. So, folks, a little positivity here. The market is doing phenomenal things in the last 3 days. Yes, after a train wreck, but by gosh darn it, it's doing positive things. Highly suggest you go over to Corbett Wall, Cattle Market Summary, YouTube channel name Cattle Market Summary, and see what that good man has to say. He's a true blessing to this market and this industry. There's no other way to put it. I'm going after my vaccinations, hell or high water, of my 12 steers tomorrow afternoon. The other good piece of news here, of course, is they're basically all trained. All the ice and snow is out of the, let's call it the trough and everything else. And tonight it was an absolute beautiful sight. I should have taken a video of it. It was raining pretty hard time. But every stinking one of them had their head through the lock system, eating the grain. So, yeah, very childish, but something to be pretty happy about. So tomorrow I'm going to practice a little bit of trickery, and they're going to get another grain ration by, oh, I don't know, maybe about, probably 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, they're going to get locked, and I'm going to walk around with my my piece of paper and my pen, because I don't have my choosings yet. Of course, there's a lot of things that have just changed. And the 12 in mind are going to get properly vaccinated. They are going to get a dewormer, which is a pour-on. I use a pour-on on the back. And they are going to get an EID tag in the ear, which is mandatory. I'm going to finish up all my paperwork on those 12. Whether the buyers give a damn about those papers or not, I don't care. I care. That made no sense. And we'll go from there. The bulls are being moved this week. I damn near got one of them. There's 2 animals. I need to look at the birth calendar, whatever you want to call it again. 2 guaranteed animals, if not 3, that are getting moved by Saturday, if not sooner, into the maternity pen. I got a lot of cleanup around here. The list never stops. So that's about it. I think it's time for a hay Fred, or 2, or 15, or 16, or 17. Nah, this is time where you need to keep your head straight. I do anyway. And kind of focus on things. And what are you curious about? You ain't getting in there. This is one of the youngest heifers that was kept back. What are you, 1050? 1050. Good cattleman will be able to tell me if she's actually carrying. I don't claim to be a good cattleman yet. Hopefully that changes in years to come. But I want to say that she is open. But maybe somebody can correct me. If she is carrying, it was a late breeding. And we'll see what happens. That's all I got, folks. I got to keep going here. I got a lot to do here yet this evening. And what the hell was that? Checking in, saying hello, giving you a little bit of sorrowful news here, but there's always a positive around the corner. So anyway, that's about it. I'm getting a little tired of hearing myself talk, to be honest with you. Anybody that's still watching, hope you're having a good week. I hope you're staying healthy. I hope you're doing the right smart things that we're supposed to be doing right now. The rules and regulations are out there for a reason. There's no other way to put it. And hope everybody's doing okay. You're going to see a lot of videos here come from me, and here in the next week and a half or so. And we'll make it fun the best that we can, and we'll go from there. So anyway, fake smile. Everybody have a good night.